I feel like there are a lot more that you want to say in your reports, in your assessment. But I feel like you don't want to stir things up too much. And so you're keeping some information somewhat hidden. Not in a bad way, but I feel that, there's so much on your mind. There is like it's like you saw a lot of inefficiencies in the work environment, and you want everything to come to light. And there might have been specific people, coworkers, colleagues, even supervisors who might not have been doing their job. And I feel like you want to expose them for for their work ethics or lack of work ethics. But for diplomatic reasons, you might, well, it's also in your professional best interest, but for diplomatic reasons I feel like you don't want to rock the boat too much, and so you're keeping some information hidden, and so you're compiling reports, and you're only submitting the vital information, which is, this software works, this one doesn't, this procedure works, this one doesn't. And so you are going to be concealing some information regarding other people's work ethics, even though you want to give, your supervisors a piece of your mind. I still feel like, for out of professional courtesy, you are going to hold some things back. Okay. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, because I feel like whatever people's performance record is, it is documented. People are aware of it. It just feels to me like, as a fire sign, you are a little bit more sensitive when people are not where they're supposed to be, when people are not conducting themselves in a most honorable manner. And so you're very sensitive to these nuances. And I feel like you might be thrust into a position of power because people know you're going to shake things up. People know that you're going to get things going, and people know that you're going to be cleaning house in a very thorough manner. Some of you might be as well in a position where you might have to let people go. You might be, in the room where you tell people you're fired or your services are no longer needed with our company. And I feel like it's a difficult situation to be in. And at the same time, if somebody's performance just doesn't measure up, it's easy for you to tell them you're fired. But then along with it, you will see the emotional toll that it is taking on the other person. And a part of you is going to feel very regretful. A part of you is going to feel very saddened by it. And, that's just the normal process of life. But I feel like some of you are going to actually be in a position to do the firing. And they're going to ask, like, but why? And you're still going to have to be quite diplomatic, and you're going to have to hold back some information as to why they're really fired. And so you might be feeling bad, and you might have to, emphasize their strengths and downplay their weaknesses, even though you feel like I should really tell them the truth. So I feel like you're grappling with your words. You're grappling with, the things that you want to say versus the thing that you need to say in a given situation. And I feel like, that's going to be very prominent in your work environment, but that's also going to be very, very prominent as well in your friendship circle, in the people that, with the people that you're interacting with overall. You might have to, decline a few dates, right? You might go on a date with somebody and they're really digging you. They're very, very attracted to you, but you might not be feeling them, because I have here in the fifth house, the temperance card in the reverse. And the temperance card in the reverse is like going on a date with somebody, and it rules the creative house. It rules fun, excitement, how you entertain yourself. And it also rules dating too, the things that we do to invite fun and enjoyment into our lives. And with the temperance card in the reverse, this is your card. You might not be feeling the other person. And, they might say like, oh, let's go for date number 3, number 4. And you're like, thank you, but no thank you. And you might not have, they might ask you why. And you're trying to not hurt their feelings. You're trying to do a lot of, sugarcoating this month so that they don't, so that it doesn't hurt their self-esteem. And, there is sugarcoating and being courteous is great. But a lot of the times, maybe we don't have to completely conceal the truth. Maybe there is a middle ground between sugarcoating and telling somebody what they need to hear so that they can make positive changes in their own lives. And a lot of the times too, Sagittarius, you pride yourself on, being able to bounce back easily. You do bounce back very, very quickly compared to all the other signs that I've encountered. I feel that you're innately very optimistic, and even when life deals you with a blow, you bounce back and you become your jolly old self. And when you're dealing with other people, just keep in mind as well that some people have greater sensitivities than others. And I feel like you might have been in a situation recently within the past 3 months where the things people said might have been quite harsh, but you bounce back. And so you're being extra courteous this month and you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. But I feel like, some things need to be put out there. Some things need to be said in a very blunt manner. And that's where you're going to shine. So I feel like, don't err too much on the side of caution. Say what needs to be said within reason. Don't go looking for a fight, but at the same time, if something that is a recurring problem is not addressed, is by keeping quiet, we are enabling it to continue, right? And that's not something that you want long term. So you want to be a little bit careful about stating the truth and how you want the truth to be expressed, because you have a lot of control here. And so sugarcoating might not be the best option for this month, okay? What I'm also sensing is this is the energy that you're coming into the month of March with. We have here the Lovers in the reverse position. So this is not just a relationship card. It extends across all areas of our lives. And a lot of the times too, with the Lovers in the reverse, it basically means a situation where there has been too many people involved where they shouldn't be involved in. Too many people offering their opinions, their personal biases, their personal agenda, injecting their personal beliefs into a situation and interfering with the situation, rather than letting it naturally unfold. In the past, you have been involved in this situation, and you realize that the more people that are involved, the longer the process takes. You might be dealing with some health issues, and there has been, second, third, fourth opinion. There has been a lot of people involved, nurses, doctors, chiropractors, even acupressurists. And then you might have like situations where there has been conflicting points of view. And so as a result of it, there has been multiple diagnoses without getting to a definitive, conclusion. And as well, I feel like it might have been a situation happening in your work environment where too many people are involved. Too many people are meddling into a specific situation. And things took a lot longer. Things might have taken a turn for the worse, and things took a lot longer to change. And I feel some of you are frustrated because you have an idea of how, it's going to play out. And you feel like if I do this, the other person does that, and we keep it between the two of us, then it's going to go according to plan. But in the process, such is life. Other people get involved and they offer their input unsolicited. And I feel like, it makes things complicated, and it creates this, it creates this ball of yarn, and then you have to unravel it by yourself, and it just makes it very complicated. So you might have been in a frustrating situation where too many people were involved, and it made the situation too complicated, too messy. And so that's what I feel is happening here. The other thing I'm sensing is this is in terms of a relationship, this is a situation where you are butting heads with another person. So I'm feeling, on the one hand, there is a lot of, chemistry, a lot of physical attraction. This is a card about lust. This is a card about, just wanting to be gratified physically. And when it shows up in the reverse, it's basically telling you, you might encounter people that you want to date, that you are currently dating. And the relationship is very lustful. The relationship is very exciting. It's also two people coming together who are so different from each other. It's like night and day. And aside from the physical connection, they're asking you, is this going to be long term? Aside from the physical connection, are there other things that are tying the relationship together? Are there other things that that will keep you both together for the long run? For the long haul, in the long run. And they're telling you as well, I feel like this might be a relationship that you need right now because you have, things are going well in your life. And I feel like you're looking for a distraction. You're looking for fun. You're looking for excitement. And if you can be honest with yourself about that, and there's no shame in that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's between consenting adults, right? And if you can be honest with yourself, then I feel like this can be, a very good relationship to pursue for the time being. But I just don't feel it panning out for the long run, like for, the long term. So that's just another area of your life that you want to be very honest about as well, okay? I feel that the financial situation, for those of you who are, stably employed in a position, but there might be, challenges in the work environment, seeing eye to eye with another person, encountering a lot of just different, like creative differences with another person. I still feel like your financial situation is very, very stable. You're showing up here as the hangman in your finance sector. And with the hangman, it's sort of like a situation that is uncomfortable, but it's doable, it's manageable. And then for others of you, this card also signifies waiting for a new opportunity to allow us the freedom to, handle our own projects, the freedom to manage and the freedom to do things and have the results the way that have control over the work that we do, have control over how we make our money. So I feel like some of you might be waiting on new jobs. Some of you might be kind of like waiting out for the work situation to get better, waiting around for the work situation to improve, for it to get better, or waiting on, restructuring within a company to see if there is a merger or to see if there is going to be a split so that you know whether or not your job is secure. So I feel like it's an uncomfortable waiting period, but they say that you're going to be able to sail on from it, okay? And sailing on from it basically means, getting a new job, landing a new job. And I do feel as well the energy here is supported for you to start looking elsewhere as well, for you to start putting your feelers out there to see what else is available for you in the work front. I'm seeing a lot of people who might be self-employed, working from home. So they mention a home-based business here with this Nine of Pentacles. It's falling in your fourth house of home. So with income generation at home. So I'm inclined to believe that, a lot of you are in a working from home, earning money from home, or even you might be making money through other means, okay? So if that's the case, your financial situation looks really, really stable coming through the month of March, so not to worry. And as well, if you are waiting on, money coming through from an institution, because I feel like you might have investment opportunities. So you might invest in property and there's money coming through consistently from tenants, or you might own property and money, royalty dues that are coming through for you as well. So I feel like there's some waiting, there's some readjustment that is needed in your income sector. But a lot of it deals with, I feel like the money situation is stable for the here and now in the present moment, especially in the month of March. But they're also asking you long term, is what you're doing going to be sustainable long term? And you need to start thinking about, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, whether or not it's still sustainable. So I feel like a lot of you are thinking about long term too. And they're trying to tell you what is the most feasible, thing to do long term. And I see you in your career. This is a card about going back to a previous situation, going back to a similar situation. And I feel that it actually would be good for you. But right now, the process about going back, it might not happen until the summer timeframe, which is, June, July, August. Right now, they're trying to tell you, put your feelers out there and see what else is available. And if you are looking for work right now, the competition is quite fierce in your environment. So that means a lot of people are applying for the same jobs that you are applying for. So the delay is going to be inevitable, right? So it's just a matter of waiting it out and taking offers that come through, even though they're not our first or second choice, but they're still viable options that will allow you to alleviate your concerns about, finding work or concerns about money. Okay. I do see summertime being a major time period for breakthroughs when it comes to things sorting themselves out, things, righting themselves again, and, the dust settling where you start to be able to make traction in your work front, where, tension and conflict will not be a major source of concern anymore. Because here we have the communication card, the Seven of Wands in the communication house, excuse me. And this is a card about standing up for our values, stating our truth, even though the people around us might not agree with us. Okay, so I feel like it's not time to sugarcoat. It's really time for you to give people a dose of your truth, because your truth is not personal. You don't want to physically attack anybody or verbally attack anybody. You're just stating what you see. And a lot of the times too, Sagittarius has this really, really blunt energy about them, where they sum up a situation in a very, very short sentence. And it is what it is. So I feel like your ability to be very truthful and to be very blunt is going to go a long way in helping you clear up misunderstandings in the work environment, if there has been that, or even misunderstandings in relationships as well, if that has been an ongoing issue. And for you to be able to, stand up for your truth and not let people walk all over you. And you're not the sign to let people walk all over you. People generally respect you because they know that you're not a doormat. But I do feel like this, you've been sugarcoating things. You've been trying to, do things in a procedurally or even in a politically correct manner. And it's really important this month for you to just say, here's what I'm seeing. Despite everything I'm telling you, here's my summary of everything that happened. I'm feeling some of you might be called into a supervisor's office, not for a reprimand, but to, they're asking you, hey, how do you feel about this? They're kind of testing the waters with you. And I feel like it's really important for you to be very, very honest. If something's not working and you see why, I feel that you should, state your case. And I feel like, they're asking you in an informal, off the record way, what's going on with work? Here's, can you give us some insights into this specific work situation and why it happened the way it did? And I feel that it would be in your best interest to state your case, okay? In your family situation, I feel like things are going really well, because we have here the Nine of Pentacles, which is a card about stability. And it's also shown in your foundation as well. So I do feel a lot of communication as well coming through from family members. I do see financial, they're saying financial inflow coming from family members, or even a financial outflow. Your home environment looks stable. I feel like you're in a very, very stable home right now. It might be growing. If you have a home that you own, it might be appreciating in value very rapidly as well. So invest in keeping it, structurally sound. Okay, invest in your property. Invest in clearing up, the garden, doing some landscaping and things like that. I feel some of you are in a very, very good home that has, tremendous growth and appreciation in value. So the relationship sector is the other thing that I feel is that needs to be touched upon. The Strength card. This is a card, once again, about attraction. Okay, two people who are very, very different, but there is a very strong soul connection. There is also this penchant to accidentally, unintentionally rub each other the wrong way. But I feel like this is a relationship that is built on a lot of trust. It's built on a lot of mutual respect of one another. So I feel like you're with a partner that is able to hold his or her own. They're not a doormat, and I feel like that's where the clashes are coming from, because either of you, both people, neither of you, both people are just you're you hold very strongly to your values. Both people are very self-sufficient, independent and self-sufficient as well. And so you're not, you're still trying to navigate, like how to work together with another person. But overall, I do see a lot of chemistry here. We have the lovers as well as the strength card, which denotes a lot of excitement, a lot of chemistry, a lot of just good energies flowing back and forth. There might be, lack of agreement or incompatibilities overall, but I do feel that it can still work, okay? Let me see if there's anything else I'm leaving out here. I do sense as well in your friendship circle, Sagittarius, this is another thing that I want to mention here. People that are bringing you a lot of problems, okay? So look back at the last 2 years. Look back at the last 2 years. Are there certain friends, group associates, or colleagues that are bringing you a lot of problems? I feel like it is really important for you to really state your case and try to, close some doors on some people, because I feel like the same energy, this very childish, competitive, a little bit of envy coming through in your friendship sector as well. So this is a combative energy. It's not always bad, but I do feel it's surrounded here by, the two sword cards, which indicates that things that might be hidden from you, envy and a little bit of conflict brewing in your friendship sector. So you yourself might be attracting a lot of people who are very independent, who are very, like they're very strong-minded and they're quite stubborn. So they will say whatever they want to say without fear of hurting other people's feelings. They might be just a little bit insensitive. So that's just another area of concern that I'm seeing coming through for this month. But aside from that, things are going to be flowing very nicely. For those of you who are single, this is a card about patience. Like the great love will come into the picture, but they are telling you to be patient, date around, date a few people, date outside of your usual type to find out what works and what doesn't work for you, to solidify what you really want before you can, attract what is right for you. Okay. So I have some good things coming through. I don't see money being a problem for many of you. I feel as well, in your work situation, whatever changes you have made recently, you're going to be able to see the benefits of it, or you're going to be able to see things come to fruition. But it's telling me, to be a little bit more patient. It is going to come, and it's going to come in small waves and in a very slow manner. So it's not like one big thing, that just explodes and everything culminates. It's more like things happening in steps, in small steps and small stages, okay? Change is coming, but it's going to be a little bit slower. And slow changes are less disruptive overall. So it's actually going to be a good thing.